could even imagine it. That which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance. The Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring. Shattered by someone or something. Don't tell me you don't see it. Look up at the sky. It burns.
The world is filled with stories of legendary heroes and treacherous villains, of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony. Not all stories have happy endings. But yours has yet to be written.
E3 live from Los Angeles, California. We are so thrilled that you are joining us. We have another stellar day of reveals and announcements that should change gaming over the course of the next year. I'm Jackie Jing, joined by my lovely co-host, Alex Golden Boy Mendez. We were practicing our poses before.
Yeah, we were. We were doing it
like this.
I'm trying to support my colleague, so I wanted to stand like this. If the camera could just get my legs,
I think you're working it.
I think I'm nailing it. You know, there you go, right there.
There we
See,
go.
look at that. Look at the cross.
Look at the foot pose.
Oh, crap. Okay, never mind. Realized I got 2 left feet, even though I'm Puerto Rican. Not all of us are good at salsa dancing.
I can't.
Yeah.
I do need to ask you though. Have you recovered from yesterday's announcements?
Oh man,
Halo head you.
It's been a great day. Actually, we just had a multiplayer showcase for Halo as well.
You're on your phone like this.
So I'm like glued to my phone before the start of the show. It looks great. I can't wait. But man, there were so many great games yesterday. Oh. It's like we were running through the gamut. I mean, from the Xbox showcase to Square Enix, the PC Gamer Show had loads of great games, future games as well. It was nuts. It was so awesome.
You were just excited for Halo Infinite. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He was going ham though. I ain't gonna lie though, Redfall, vampires and violence all the way over
All the
here.
way. I'm okay with it.
Yes. Anyways, we hope that you're enjoying this virtual format of E3 in 2021. We are presenting you with all the insight and live reveals from the comforts of your own home. We've gone global, folks. This year, we are bringing the announcements to you no matter where you might be. From LA to China, we are here to bring you every last word from your favorite developers and tell you exactly what that means going forward. Such an amazing experience for all those watching at home, and such a pleasure to be hosting with GB. I'm punching you.
Yes, I'm being punched off camera, but yeah, we have so many partners all over the globe covering this great event. It has honestly been stupendous to get all of the reactions. Everyone's excited, right? Everyone loves video games. E3, it truly is the best time of the year. It's the Super Bowl of gaming, and you're always going to get some awesome reveals, and I think everyone, there was a little bit of something for everyone, and for an event that is as global as E3, that is exactly what you want. But the fun continues here, because at 9 a.m. we're going to be kicking things off with Verizon. Then at 9:45, a blast from the past, as in television is going to be taken to stage. Then we have an awesome panel with Take-Two Interactive at 10:15. At 11:10, one that I'm specifically excited for is Mythical Games. We'll see what they're bringing to the table. Then at 12, we'll have the Indie Spotlight. Who doesn't like talking about more independent games? Then at 12:30, Freedom Games will go on. We'll see what they're going to be bringing out here. And then at 12:55, we'll have Ven for a special discussion. And then at 2:30, Capcom. Everyone's looking forward to that one. Followed by one that I'm particularly stoked for because I'm a big PC peripheral person. It's Razer. So I'm looking forward as well to that there. There's a lot of good stuff on the docket today, Jackie.
I'm kind of a Razer girl, too. I got the kitty Kraken ears and the chair.
Razer Viper Mini Ultimate.
Support.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Exceptional.
It is good. It is good.
Anyway, I know you're excited for Razer. You're talking about Mythical Games a little bit. But what else are you excited for today?
Well, we got a little bit of an early glimpse at the in Television Amico and like what they're going to be doing there. You know, like I said, it's always nice to see things that are going to come back, from our past, coming back to, and trying, like, it's like a way for us as we get older to get a newer generation to appreciate a lot of those old school games that we all grew up playing, right? So that is going to be a really fun one. But yeah, I'm really stoked for Mythical Games. I think that's going to be a fun panel.
You've been talking about it all morning. I do think all eyes are on Capcom. Resident Evil 25th anniversary, maybe a new title, definitely some reveals. I think a lot of Monster Hunter and Street Fighter fans are going to be closely watching as well. I'm wearing my Chun-Li blue, y'all.
I like that. I wore Halo green yesterday, so it makes sense to wear Chun-Li blue. Okay, I like that. I like that.
But there's so much on the schedule today, but also just want to give you all a quick reminder. If you're looking for some sweet limited edition E3 merch, do you see how good this looks, folks? Do a little spin.
I did the wrong side. I did the wrong side.
Okay, you got
do a little spin.
Practice poses earlier. There we go. Okay.
Throw 'em. I'm telling you, right here.
Vogue. I love it.
This jacket actually, full stop, is actually really comfortable. Not gonna front. I oftentimes don't wear merch for the event that I'm working. This time around, I was like, this jacket actually is quite nice. And this bomber is very, very comfortable. And it's got the E3 logo right here.
It's also got a little pocket here.
Yeah, it's got the bullets.
Yeah.
You know, it's full bomber, baby.
There
It
you
goes with
go.
practically anything. So yeah, do that, and then I'll probably end up stealing a dad hat at some point in time with Greg.
I know. Greg was working the dad hat yesterday.
Really was. It really
He's
was.
also been working the bomber jackets as well. But
He has been.
speaking about Greg Miller, let's send things over to the third member of our Titan trio, Greg Miller. He is surrounded by our lovely media partners. How y'all feeling? We're through 2 days of E3 now. Can you believe it? Hi.
We are feeling quite well, Jackie. Come on now. Third day of E3. I mean, what, David? You don't feel well? You're not.
No, I feel quite well.
Well, there's well and there's quite well, and that's the third day of E3. Of course, we have Damon Hatfield from IGN.com. Michael Hyam over here.
Howdy.
From the one, the only GameSpot. Howdy to yourself. You know what I mean? Dan Casey from Nerdist. How are you?
And quite a good morning to you as well. I'm great.
And then, of course, if you want to get it here, the empty chair. Avalie from G4, not here today. Unfortunately, bit in the eyes by 2 snakes last night. But I hear she will make a full recovery and she will be here tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Because they were venomous, not poisonous.
Exactly. That's a fun joke. Because, you know, venomous, poisonous. Do you know the difference?
What? No. Tell me.
So venomous, of course, would be if I bit you.
Okay.
And then I had venom in my veins, then I'm venomous. But if you licked me, I'm poisonous.
Oh, okay.
And that's what got you sick? That what kills you?
I'm telling Jen.
Roll the dice, you know what I mean? Find out what happened. For you to lick me like a tough. Ladies and gentlemen, or I guess just gentlemen today, what are we excited for? Damon, when you think of this day 3, what are you excited for?
There's a couple of things I'm looking forward to today. In all honesty, I'm very curious about Intellivision.
Yeah.
I'm a retro gamer. Intellivision is a name that I grew up with, although I never owned one myself. So I think it's very cool that there's this very retro gaming brand getting its own showcase within E3.
Yeah.
They want to be a family-friendly console where all the games are easy to pick up and play. They have their own controller that's very simple to use, apparently. So I'm curious to see if, you know, what they've got and if there's room in the market for yet another successful console. And then, of course, Capcom.
Of
Coming
course.
up later today.
Come on.
NPD just announced this morning that Resident Evil Village, best-selling game of May, second best-selling game of the year so far after Black Ops Cold War, which makes it the best-selling game that was released this year. So Capcom has another hit on its hands, and I'd love to see some more content for that.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we need to know what you think. As you see, there's a poll going right now. Capcom is running away with what are you most excited for with 60% of the vote, but the Indie Showcase right behind that. Of course, no matter where you are watching, you can spam the chat, find out, vote in those polls, and use the hashtag E32021 to be on the little ticker below. But Michael, what are you excited for today?
I am with the audience and with Damon and saying Capcom because I love Japanese games. That's kind of what I've gravitated towards throughout my career at GameSpot is covering Japanese games. And Capcom, I think, is going to be surprising.
Yeah.
Maybe, I know, like Jackie said, Resident Evil 25-year anniversary and Resident Evil Village is poppin'. So, and there's probably going to be some extra content. I would like to see VR support for Resident Evil Village. That would be wild. But I think the thing I'm actually most excited for, and I think Dan is going to feel me on this one, is the Great Ace Attorney.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Objection. The Great Ace Attorney has been out in Japan for a long time, and it's coming westward this year for Switch, PS4, and PC. It's kind of a period piece with a character named...
Okay, hold on. We need,
whoa.
G4 representation here. I'm tired of this.
Objection.
God,
that's Golden Boy's music.
God forbid G4's back. All right, did you not hear, guys? Did you not see it? G4's back, everybody.
We ain't going nowhere this time until we run out of money next time. Let's go.
Wow. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. Here's my question about Capcom, actually, though, and this is for the panel, obviously. But Capcom, you know, very upfront. They already announced that they, you know, Seltzer, of course, a friend of ours, Golden Boy, doing the presentation. They came out and listed their games, right? So they're talking about, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Resident Evil Village. Is this one of the ones where we trust that? Do we think there's one more thing? Like, obviously, there's been other stuff announced, right? Obviously, Resident Evil Reverse, the multiplayer game, is set for the summer. You'd expect to see something, but they didn't list it. RE4 VR, right, got announced, but are we going to see something here? Should they have gone out of their way to say it? Dan, should we dream or do we not dream about Capcom?
Every night I dream of them announcing a new rival schools, but it is still yet to happen.
Brother.
I knew I liked
Maybe
it.
someday.
This is the man of culture. This is the man of culture right here.
Maybe today will be that day, but if it's not, I'm still excited. There's some cool stuff on there. I mean, I'm getting a new Ace Attorney game, and the other stuff sounds pretty cool, but I don't know. I'm just, I've been hurt before.
Sure.
Every time they don't announce rival schools, a little part of me dies like a Horcrux, but in the meantime, I will hold out that hope and just be excited by everything else coming that way.
Okay, fine, I can take that.
Yeah.
And then Golden Boy G4. What are you excited for?
Well, you know,
don't say Capcom because you and I are talking about Capcom.
They did.
10 minutes. I'm saving it all up.
They did talk about the RE4 during the Oculus presentation, so they went through that a fair amount. But yeah, I mean, as far as the day goes, though, I mentioned on stage briefly, I am looking forward to Mythical because they have a very unique style of game that they do. It's focused on blockchain technology, right? Everyone's talking about the blockchain right now. But it is cool. I think like providing actual value to items in game, you know, through the blockchain system is a pretty neat and interesting take. I would like to see it applied to, you know, CCGs, and you know, I'm sure they're going to be talking about Blancos as well, which is like one of their big games there.
Yeah, you know, for me, obviously Capcom, that's the brand we know. But
you just said don't take Capcom.
I'm getting away from it. Then there are the questions of the other things, right, where it's like there's an indie games presentation.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's part of that. And I obviously, well, I don't know if obviously, hey, if you don't know, I'm Greg Miller, and I love indie games. So now you know it's obvious that I'm excited for this because I want to see what they have up their sleeves. And I'm interested to see, you know, with so much saturation this week, whether it be PC Gamer, whether it be you know, the other one, the Future Gamer that we just did yesterday, right? Like, how much more space are there for more indies to come out?
There are a few more indie games that I've been paying attention to that I didn't see at the other showcases. So I want to shout out two of them. Boyfriend Dungeon from Kit Fox.
Of course.
Shouts out to y'all. And She Dreams Elsewhere from my boy Davion Gooden. Hey, I knew I was going to give you a shout out during E3, but I haven't seen those at other showcases. Those are games that I'm looking forward to that kind of feel like they're imminent for release, but that's up to them. But it would be dope to see those games on the E3 stage. That's what I want to see, but, you know, if I don't.
Also, where's Avali to talk about Boyfriend Dungeon?
Boyfriend, yo, my God.
You know, I can't do the Avali Boyfriend Dungeon thing justice, you know, because I wouldn't even know where to go from there. What is that game even about?
You date your weapons.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't you want to date your sword or your blunderbuss? Come on.
Or your polearm?
Yeah,
Gentlemen, I'm taken.
I've been dating my polearm for a good 30-some years.
You set him up with that one. You set him up with that one.
Correct.
This is what you get when we put 5 men on a panel. You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to reset. We're going to take a quick break because we are just getting started. Up next, you're going to get a preview of what to expect when Capcom presents. But first, here are some of the best memories from past E3s as told to you by some of your favorite streamers and content creators.
My biggest E3 memory that I remember being like, are you serious? Was Beatles Rock Band, because they had the Beatles there.
I remember when they showed the Final Fantasy VII with new technology reimagined.
The remake.
Something about game devs and game executives going boom is like a memorable experience.
I think Deathloop is going to be such a great game. I am so excited about it.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Little Nightmares 2, anything that is indie and that really catches our attention, absolutely love it.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, they showed Nessa, especially like Black Cosplay Twitter and stuff. Everyone was like, yo, oh my god. I kid you not, literally that night I started putting together a costume.
So a moment that really stuck out to me for E3 was in 2016, where I actually got to meet and interview Mr. Miyamoto. It was surreal, and I will never forget that moment.
Probably one of my favorite announcements that happened at E3 was for Fallout 4. And it was also one of the first times I actually got to work with Bethesda. Being able to work with my favorite video game series was just a dream come true. So that was a super hype E3 announcement for me.
They were talking about Forza Motorsport 6, and they literally lowered a Ford GT from the ceiling, and I lost my mind.
Microsoft brought out Usher. That was the time. That was when there were just random celebrities.
The E3 announcement that I got the most excited about was winning the freaking Smash Brothers tournament and getting that dang medal. That was the best announcement that ever happened to me when they announced the winner, and it was me.
Welcome back to E3 Live from Los Angeles. Greg Miller here with my cast of gaming friends, of course, the none other than Golden Boy, Alex Miller.
Right.
Hello, how are you?
I feel like I just spoke to you.
Well, you did because you crashed the other segment, you know what I mean, and then you burned it because we're supposed to have this bomber jacket moment where we're together and like our powers unite, but then you burst through the wall screaming about G4.
I'm so sorry about that.
I like
I'm excited, you know. I'm excited.
That's what people are tuning in for. They like this shenanigans.
G4 is back for a few months. You know what I mean? Just get used to it, kids.
Is this the advertising gimmick they're running with? Of like, hey, how long is it gonna last this time?
Yeah, man. Well, until Cops and Cheaters shows up, you know, like,
well,
I'm joking.
Joey Greco. Joey Greco.
Joey.
Golden Boy, I want to talk about a developer we are all familiar with. That's Capcom. What do you want to see from them today during their E3 presentation?
All right, if we're keeping it $1.50, okay?
I don't know what that means, was it?
Like we're keeping it real.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, there's nothing more real than $1.50.
Okay.
You know.
Sure.
I know you know. He knows what I'm. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He knows.
I'm right there.
It would be so sick if we got a Lost Planet game.
Oh my God! Why are you dreaming so big? This is the problem with gamers. They come out and they say the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Resident Evil Village. That's our presentation. He's like, I want Lost Planet.
Hear me out, Greg. All right, because if you know, yesterday Square Enix was like, hey, we're Square Enix and we're gonna do this. We're gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
Right. And then they dropped Strangers of Paradise.
Sure.
You know, which was a special surprise.
Sure.
So I would like it if Capcom did one more thing. You know, that would be cool. It's not necessary for them to do it because I think like the slate of games that they're going to talk about, like the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I think that's fantastic.
Sure.
A lot of people are going to get hyped up about that.
Two different Ace Attorney games bundled as one, only released in Japan, now coming to America.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that's going to be a fun release for a lot of people to just enjoy those games, and yeah, I think that's going to be pretty awesome. What about you?
Oh, for me, like I like that they called out Resident Evil. Hey, we are going to talk about Resident Evil Village. Of course, Damon just went over there. The success Resident Evil Village has had since its launch a month ago. So what does that mean today? Is it DLC? Is it story-based DLC? We haven't actually talked about Resident Evil Village, you and I. Have you beaten Resident Evil Village?
I have not played it. All I've done is watch. Streams of it.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, I've been in California for like a month, so I haven't had time to play any video games at all.
Yeah.
That said, though, I have liked what I've seen besides the hand stuff. The hand stuff really doesn't do it for me.
I understand. They have a thing about hands over there. But the story goes places.
It does.
And ends in a very interesting place that we won't spoil here if you haven't gotten there. So my question becomes then, if it's DLC, is it continuing that saga? Are we getting a tease of what happens next? Like, where do we want to go with Resident Evil Village and double down on the success they found it?
Do you feel like we have a pathway, though, for Resident Evil Village?
There's multiple pathways I think they could go with it, which makes it so exciting and interesting to see what they'd want to do with it and what they want to add to it and what they want to talk about today for it. And then beyond that, I know like Monster Hunter Rise, obviously, is a game that has taken over. Fanbytes Imran Khan, obsessed with it, right? He's one of our friends. IG and Zach Ryan, obsessed with it. I want to see what they have up their sleeve. They had done, their own event in May already where they talked about the 3.0 update. Now we're getting about to the 3.1 update. So what else are you going to put in there? What other monsters are we going to do? And again, this is E3. Yeah. This is when you get to tease to the largest audience, hey, here's what's coming in the fall. Here's what's coming down the line. So it doesn't even have to be the more imminent 3.1 update. It could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. There's a great opportunity here for Monster Hunter, for Capcom, to just continue to establish the strength of the Monster Hunter brand. I went to Japan, and I remember going to a few of the, the toy stores and stuff like that to pick up some figurines. I mean, and just, it was everywhere. It was such a big deal. You could tell that the culture around that, the game, even out here as well, and I'm glad it's really picked up steam out here because it is a fantastic franchise. I think we're going to get some cool little goodies with Monster Hunter for sure.
Yeah, I will put a pin in all that because, Monster Hunter, I'm so excited since World to see the success Western. As somebody who used to review the Monster Hunter games on PSP, to see it now be a huge phenomenon out here, it's insane. Maybe one day we will get the Monster Hunter restaurant I went to in Japan here stateside.
Oh, that would be cool.
It's insane.
That would be cool. Like the Gundam Cafe.
Exactly.
Well, the drinks weren't that great, but...
that's when you fall apart. Jackie, what do you want to see in an American Monster Hunter restaurant?
What? I have no idea how to answer that question, so we're just going to go into the next segment. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Okay, so we all love ourselves some AAA games, but we're also putting the indie world in the spotlight today with some trailer reveals. What types of indie games do you look forward to? For me, I love when the music just hits and the animation, I just feel it in my core and my heart. it's so hard to pinpoint what it is. I just feel like I watch the trailer and it somehow just hits me right in the feels. But Damon, I know you're particularly excited about seeing all the indie games. Why does it stand out to you so much?
There's a lot of creativity in the indie game world. They're able to take sometimes they're able to take bigger risks than a AAA game that's tens of millions of dollars in the making. It's usually a smaller team. Lots of pixel art. There's so much great pixel art happening in the world of indie games today. I grew up on pixel art, of course. The pixel art that's happening today wouldn't have been possible in the 80s and 90s. It's such a cool look. They're doing fantastic things. It's a visual style that's going to look good 100 years from today.
Michael, what about you? Why are you excited about the show?
Independent games have the ability to be telling more personal stories, and I think that's what I gravitate towards a lot. So I mentioned She Dreams Elsewhere, which is an upcoming indie game from a good friend, Davion Gooden, but I think that's a microcosm of why I gravitate towards independent games. So you mentioned music, and you can do a lot more. You have the freedom to kind of make what kind of music. You don't have to check with anyone. You don't have to check with anyone if this is the type of story you want to tell, whether it's personal, if it deals with mental health, or if it's an expression of something you're just feeling. You are, if you're making an independent game, you are your own storyteller. So you are the last. I imagine that you would be the last. You got the last say in what your game says. So, of course, not every indie game is going to hit every person, but for those games that do hit certain people, I think they can be very impactful. Because I know games such as Undertale, which is probably, I guess, the most successful indie game out there by Toby Fox, that is literally one of my favorite games of all time, and many people would probably agree with me. But there's something very, very earnest and very personal about that game, and especially that soundtrack, which Toby Fox also made as well, is just like a throwback to all the old school RPGs. So that's what I look for in independent games, and I want to see something like that again, and I hope someone out there finds something they're interested in too during the showcase.
Michael, that was an exceptional monologue. I just want to give him a round of applause. All of us were in trance. We were just keep going.
I want a game to make me cry. I've been on record on this for all of E3. Crying is dope. Crying is great. If there's a game out there that's going to make me cry, give it to me.
We're here for all the feels. Dan, but in your opinion, what makes the indie games hit?
I think it's what both Damon and Michael were saying, where you have so much raw creativity out there, but the indie game process democratizes the creative process because you have fewer corporate masters to answer to. You can really sort of focus in on your vision. I think about that sort of idea of a singular creator in some cases, like Concerned Ape with Stardew Valley. That was someone who just loved playing Harvest Moon so much that he's like, I need to make my own. And he did over the course of 5 years, and it turned out great. But you get so much other stuff out there too, it really opens up genres that might get passed by a larger publisher. Things like visual novels, you get a lot of unique narratives there. Some really strange ones sometimes, like Hot to Full Boyfriend, where you get to date a bird. But that's also cool because that offers all these options to so many people out there. There's so much amazing content, especially through platforms like Steam and Itch. There's so many amazing creators out there, and some of my favorite surprises from the show so far have come during the PC Gaming Show or the Future Game Showcase, because it's not the stuff that we knew was coming, it's the stuff that I'm going to add to my wish list right away because I want to play it down the line.
You know what I also find very interesting about indie games is basically what they have to do with PR and marketing. This is so random, but one of my friends just hit me up on LinkedIn and was like, hey, do you remember me from college? I made an indie game. It's called Extra Galactica. It's actually going to be appearing today in the Indie Game Show, and it's adorable. I love it. Great 80s retro music. You're going to absolutely adore it, Damon. And pixel art. So, but he was talking to me about how they're trying to appeal to China and these different regions. So it's like, how do they find their audience? I feel like that's such a challenge.
It is a challenge.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, think of how many great-looking indie games we've seen just during this show. There are literally hundreds of games released every day. Yeah. It is discoverability is a real challenge.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so much to get to today, but first we're going to take a quick break. When we return, Verizon will get things going with a major update. Stay tuned.
I would say GTA 5, Minecraft, those games, they're still around because it's super open world. I mean, Minecraft, you can build anything, break anything, which is really, really cool. GTA is just it's just real life, but in a game, which is cool, and you can just go up and punch people, and that's always fun. And you can't do that in real life, or I mean, I guess you can.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is powered by Duracell, the official battery sponsor of Summer of Gaming 2021, and Army National Guard. Pursue multiple paths while you serve. Reach your greatest potential with Army National Guard.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game, but what if you got a chance to peek into the mind of the developers behind those games as they watch their hard work get completely destroyed right in front of them?
What is happening right now?
That's exactly what happens on every episode of Devs React to Speedruns. We invite you to ride along with the developers as they watch, react, and enjoy some of the craziest gameplay by the most skilled speedrunners on the planet. Tune in every Saturday for a brand new episode.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Hey you! Are you looking for a new way to watch your favorite videos and shows from IGN? Well, check out IGN Watch.
Welcome back to IGN.
It's our new app that's all about video, because there really just aren't enough video apps these days.
I get to unbox this PlayStation 5.
Follow subjects you care about, play videos in the background, or send them to your TV via AirPlay or Chromecast.
I gotta get one of those.
Download it today from the App Store or Play Store, or both. We're not your boss. IGN Watch. Check it out.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by USAA Insurance.
Welcome back to E3 Live from Los Angeles, and team, we are just moments away from Verizon's presentation. Obviously, you know, with a mobile carrier, you think about mobile games, and, you know, how have you seen the mobile game scene change? Because I'm a big mobile gamer, and it has evolved exponentially over the last few years.
Dude. No, you want to say the last few years, I'd go even further than that. You know, Damon and I have been very clear that we're old. And so at IGN in like 2008, I remember Levi Buchanan walking around and be like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, mobile games are about to be massive. They're about to take over. It's so big in Japan right now. It's going to be that way here. And you jump to it now, and it is that, like, as somebody who never played mobile games, I have Apple Arcade. Right, I have the backbone controller to throw onto my phone, whether it is for a mobile game, whether it is to go play something through remote play. You're seeing games I'm already excited for, stuff like Cozy Grove, go from a mobile platform to PlayStation. And it's that idea of, like, you start playing it on a console, you're like, this is a great game. Chicory right now. You start playing it on a console, and you're like, this is great. And then it's like, oh, wait, I could have been playing this on my phone a long time ago.
I know. It's incredible how much mobile gaming has evolved. Mobile networks are so important as well, folks, and the wait is over. So let's go ahead and kick things over to our friends at Verizon.
Hello everyone, I'm Diego Scotti, CMO of Verizon, and it's great to be here. This is my first E3, so you might be wondering why am I here and why Verizon is here at the industry's biggest gaming conference. Well, let me tell you, this past year changed everything, including the world of gaming. The pandemic sparked a massive growth for the industry. New players came in droves, and for many, gaming took on new meaning. It was a source of comfort, a creative outlet, and a means of connection. In fact, we estimate that 5 out of 6 people in the US have played a video game at some point in the past 6 months. That is amazing. And this growth has propelled the gaming industry towards massive new creative opportunities and cutting-edge ideas. Gamers know better than anyone that cutting-edge ideas demand new technologies that can keep up. And that's where Verizon comes in. Because here's the thing. In our increasingly fast-paced, interconnected world, we need technology that can transform every aspect of gaming. Technology that is not limited to a single console or platform. What we need, it's a network. And that network is Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband. That is why we're here today, to tell you about Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband's high speed, low latency, massive capacity, and the power of mobile edge compute, or MEC. And how Verizon is powering a gaming revolution. We're going to talk about 3 gaming communities that will benefit the most. The first community is the developers who create the games. We'll see how developers can make the most graphic-rich multiplayer games ever created. And immersive gaming formats like virtual reality can come to life in whole new ways. The second community is the sports teams who play them. We will look at how players can download games in seconds, and data-intensive multiplayer games typically reserved for consoles can now be played on mobile. And third is the community of fans who engage with them. Fans can stream games on the go with no additional downloads or consoles needed. So in all these 3 areas, Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband is the innovation that makes other innovations possible. Let's take a look. Wow, the 5G gaming revolution is on. 5G Ultra Wideband and mobile edge compute are literally game changers for this industry. And to prove it, we'll hear from friends I'm proud to have here with us today. Dignitas, EA, Team Liquid, and Riot Games. It's an amazing group. All the games, all the programs, the hardware being announced here at E3, all of them require a powerful network. And Verizon 5G will take all of them to the next level. We're talking about capabilities that include speeds that can reach up to 4 gigabits per second, latency measured in milliseconds, the potential to support more connected devices than ever before, and smaller handsets with extended battery life. It's simply incredible. I'm so excited. To bring this to life, let's see how 5G will change everything. so amazing. I really loved that video. So now let's talk about the people who are using this technology to create the games, the developers, and how this new technology will change the way they create and publish games. So to do this, I want to introduce Nikki Palmer, Verizon's Chief Product and Development Officer. Take it away, Nikki.
Thank you so much, Diego. To get an even better understanding of how Verizon 5G is making permanent transformations within gaming, I want to tell you about something called Mobile Edge Compute, or MEC. It's a technology that's having a huge impact on those game developers that Diego mentioned. MEC involves putting compute power that would have otherwise been in the cloud or on the device itself into the edge of the network, where those capabilities are most needed for low latency performance. In 2020, Verizon became the first company in the world to launch MEC. We did that with Amazon Web Services Wavelength. So far, we've deployed MEC in this fashion with AWS in 10 major metropolitan areas across the United States. We've also announced a private MEC solution teaming with Microsoft Azure. In addition, we announced 5G and MEC co-innovation collaborations with IBM, Cisco, SAP, and Deloitte. So in short, Verizon is where the tech superstars go when they want MEC done right. So, what does all this mean for developers? A lot, as it turns out. For starters, with MEC and 5G ultra-wideband, processing can happen closer to the user, reducing the time required to upload or download a massive file or crunch a huge database. So, say goodbye to the days of high-def games bogging down the network. Not only that, truly immersive gaming in formats like virtual reality can be enabled. And that reduces the lag and the jitter in the experience that may have prevented the adoption of VR in the first place. This technology also provides a platform for hardware developers that can change the size and weight of a headset, untethering gamers from the clunky hardware of the past and unlocking the huge gaming potential of virtual reality. With augmented reality games also on the rise, there are even more implications for game developers, especially the ones who are so creative that the current platforms can't keep up. Until now. The platforms are here. Thanks to 5G ultra-wideband, even the most visually complex cloud-based games can come through beautifully on any user device, just as their creators intended. Developers can now focus on making the best games. They can rewrite the rules for creating eye-popping, graphics-rich, multiplayer action without worrying about hardware or network limitations. So, now that we've lifted the creative limitations for developers, I want to shift gears to talk about the second community being impacted by the power of 5G, and that's esports teams. Esports has been one of the fastest growing entertainment categories in the world. With access to Verizon 5G ultra-wideband and mobile edge compute, new games can be played with higher fidelity and lower latency, creating new opportunities for esports leagues, especially mobile esports. Our 5G labs have been the perfect place for esports innovation. These 5G and MEC-enabled environments are cutting-edge incubators for forward-thinking companies that are ready to build and scale the future of gaming. In early 2020, Verizon's 5G lab right here in LA became home to the Verizon 5G Gaming Center. This first-of-its-kind facility was created in partnership with Dignitas, serving as their West Coast headquarters, home to its League of Legends teams, and place to co-create the future of esports engagement and content. Since then, we've expanded our capabilities to include a world-class XR stage, cutting-edge volumetric capture, and a space for player analytics. We are taking it to the next level, exploring how 5G ultra-wideband network can enhance player performance, enable new fan connections, and empower the next wave of gaming and esports experiences. Let's see how.
I don't think any other organization or company has what we have here at the Verizon 5G Lab.
It's the first in the world, so it's really exciting to be a part of something so innovative and seeing where it can take esports.
Verizon is definitely elevating the game to the next level. My name is Emily Garrido. I go by Emilite in-game, and I'm the team captain for Dignitas's all-women's Valorant team. We have everything that we need here. We have streaming pod rooms if we want to connect with our fans on a personal level, boot camp rooms so we can really get down to business and prepare for tournaments.
It's really nice to have the gaming center here and our own little personal streaming pods and basically have one-on-one conversations with all my viewers. My full name is Carolyn Noquez, and in the gaming community, I am known as ArtStar. I am a content creator for Dignitas, and I was formerly a professional player on the Dignitas CSGO female team.
Esports is really just like any other sport. They want to interact with their fans, and there's a very high level of accessibility. We have a ton of different technology. We have a virtual production stage that allows for XR. We have a volumetric capture stage. 5G is going to have a huge impact on gaming, and it will completely revolutionize how games are played today. Right now, mobile games utilize either processing on a phone or processing in the cloud. 5G combined with MEC is going to completely change that paradigm. The lab is a fantastic place for us to partner with game developers to learn how they want to build their games in the future in order to take advantage of our network. So consumers will be able to have multiplayer augmented reality games and experiences on their mobile devices, so they will eventually be able to do that anywhere.
It is incredibly exciting to see Verizon really taking it to the next level. So innovative and always thinking of ways of how they can make it better. How can they make the connection better? How can they make your gaming experience better?
To me, what's really exciting is when we bring in creative people who are given access to this technology and they come up with an idea that we never would have thought of. And we're just at the beginning of how 5G is going to impact games.
Emily, ArtStar, thank you so much for that. I am so excited about the possibilities of the Gaming Center. I'm going to turn it back over to Diego.
Wow. Thanks, Nikki. I totally agree. It's fantastic to see that gaming center come to life. Now, let's move on to the third and biggest community that will be impacted by 5G. The fans and their experience. That connection between esports players and their fans is so unique. There's no other sport that has the same real-time personal connection. And just like the players, these fans want innovation too. And to create the deeper engagement and immersive experiences they want, we are going to need to harness the power of 5G. To help me bring this to life, I want to introduce someone who truly knows fan engagement. She has fans both as a dynamic member of the Minnesota Lynx and as a streamer with Team Liquid. Ariel Powers.
Thanks, Diego. Hi, everyone. I love competition, whether it's on the court or streaming. And as one of the most successful esports organizations in the world, so does Team Liquid. TL is tech forward and always looking to push the envelope, innovating how we train, compete, and engage with fans. The fans obviously share that love for competition. This synergy between Team Liquid and the community leads to a critical connection, one that shapes who we are. And we've only just begun to scratch the surface of what's possible when it comes to community engagement and sharing moments around competition, both in person, which we're all looking forward to getting back to, and virtually. Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband is the key to unlocking the future of these experiences. With the power to enable teams and players to deliver the most immersive and personalized experiences ever, the technology is transforming the way fans play and consume content. Team Liquid has a 20-year history of changing the game through the power of community and innovation. And we could not be more excited about the next phase of gaming, brought to life with Verizon 5G. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ariel. This is really exciting stuff. Now, there is clearly new territory to tap into with fan engagement. I am convinced it is the future. And to help build that future, Verizon and Team Liquid are joining forces for a groundbreaking 5G innovation partnership. We'll generate fan-facing 5G experiences that will reshape engagement around esports tournaments, whether you're there in person or watching virtually at home in real time. Let's look first at in-person events. This year, as live events return, Verizon and Team Liquid will experiences at the industry's biggest events. We have over 60 stadiums and arenas around the country with Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband. In here, fans can look forward to 360-degree portal views into the gameplay for a fully immersive experience, and the ability for top streamers to play live from venues during these events. Something that has never been done before. Only with that powerful connection can you unlock second screen experiences that immerse fans in the competition and that allows top content creators to stream live from those venues. And for those watching remotely, VR innovations will allow fans to experience live events together virtually, giving them the best seats in the house. And 360-degree access that puts them in the middle of the action. I can't wait to see what comes from our Team Liquid 5G innovation partnership. Now, Verizon's expansive collection of gaming industry partners is capable of reaching over 120 million of those players, and that's in the US alone. We want to show every one of them how Verizon's networks will benefit both players and developers in totally new ways. A great example of this was our partnership with Epic to create the Super Bowl 5G stadium in Fortnite creative mode. This was the largest branded experience ever built in Fortnite's creative mode. And it gave players the opportunity to interact with their favorite NFL players and pro players in a way that's never been done before. The activation featured 4 football-inspired games and a few hidden surprises for players. It was a great demonstration of the power of 5G for gaming with the low lag and high speeds made only possible by Verizon 5G Ultra Wideband. But 5G doesn't just transform battle royale games like Fortnite. It also changes single-player and strategy games. I am thrilled now to invite a friend of mine to talk about how Verizon 5G is amping up the player experience. He is safety for the LA Chargers and a seriously engaged model NFL player, Derwin James. My man.
What's up, my man?
So great to have you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming. You know, you all know this guy. You know, he plays for the LA Chargers. And your home field is the new SoFi Stadium, which is amazing. It was created with the most cutting-edge technology in existence. And I tell you, it is home to Verizon's largest 5G stadium built in the country, built with 5G at its core. So ultra-wideband coverage can be found throughout the entire stadium.
I can't wait to get the fans back out there into the stadium for many reasons. The venue is incredible. The tech is built around is going to totally reshape how we watch and play with the game.
It's very, very, very cool. And listen, we can talk about these tech enhancements for a long, long time, but you're here today because you're not only a competitor on the field, but you're also a passionate gamer, right?
Yes, sir.
A huge Madden NFL fan.
I am. I started playing football when I was about 4 years old and Madden NFL when I was 7 years old. So you can say I've always been a competitor. I always wanted to be a professional football player, When I played Madden NFL as a kid, I created my player. I wanted to have super speed, super size, and of course handsome. So, to be able to be the player I am, it showed a lot of dedication.
That's so cool, and you achieved all of that. I don't know about the handsome one, but anyway, it's a great story. And I'm sure you've seen tons of changes in the game since you started playing, both on the field and also on the screen, right?
You could say that. The innovations around Madden NFL and the gaming overall are incredible. The tech advancements have enabled so much. When I started playing, there were maybe the color cords with the images were blurry, the networks were kind of slow, so you're constantly getting a lag. It's so different now. The visuals are more realistic. Networks have gotten better, and you can play with a group of people all over the world, so you don't even have to be in the same state or city. You can be playing with a friend in a whole nother country, which is amazing.
Oh my God, it's amazing, and you can't believe what 2 decades of innovation can do to the game. So, as you think about the future, what do you want to see next?
Madden NFL is already delivering a lot, but I'd love to see more new modes and experience with deeper and authenticity and to what it's like to be on the field. I want to feel like I'm in this moment as a player. I want to feel like I'm out there. So more engagement with opportunities to connect with people and other people across the world. So being able to be mobile, because I'm constantly on the go as an athlete, so I want to be able to connect with my friends mobilely too.
Oh, that's really cool. And listen, I'm glad that you mentioned mobile because we believe at Verizon that mobile is the future.
Yes, sir.
We ended the year, and I want to hear this number, with 17,000 5G small cells all across the country.
Wow.
And we expect to have by the end of the year 30,000 so everybody can enjoy 5G. So I tell you, this kind of expansion means that the powerful connection you need for console quality gaming experience on mobile, like the one you want, will continue to grow very quickly. And here's another thing. We are taking it also to the next level because we are combining this power of the Verizon network with the creativity of the developers of EA. Their team will work with our 5G labs to innovate using 5G to focus on creating the most dynamic player experience ever. So together, our goal will be to produce optimizations for EA Sports, including your favorite Madden NFL Mobile, using low latency to develop mobile experiences, the kind of the ones that Derwin, you, my man, and so many others are craving.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's literally changing the game. Seeing the networks and improvements created over the last 20 years, I can't wait to see what the next 20 years bring with the power enhancing of 5G power.
That is it, the power of 5G. So great to have you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yes,
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
So it's so exciting to talk about the new technology and how it is impacting the entire gaming ecosystem across the 3 big areas of developers, esports teams, and fans, all bringing fantastic innovation to the industry. But today, there is also a 4th area that is very timely for us to talk about, and that is the importance of supporting diversity in the gaming industry. As technology stretches the boundaries of what's possible, and as the industry grows, the players and the fans are more diverse than ever. And so a different sort of innovation is required. With this shift, and this is something that is very close to my heart, actions to increase diversity and inclusion within the gaming community are more important than ever, more urgent than ever, especially those supporting female representation. Diversity has become a major force driving the industry forward. And as the players and their fans who are consuming these products become more diverse, it makes a lot of sense that the people who make the products, so the developers, should also reflect that diversity. I am a firm believer that change starts with action. And we are taking action together with Riot Games. In March, we partnered with Riot to launch the Valorant VCT Game Changers Initiative. It is a fantastic program that elevates women and other diverse groups within the esports community. And most importantly, it inspires the next generation of players. So to talk more about the need for increased female representation, I am thrilled to introduce now the executive producer of Valorant, Anna Dunlon. Anna, welcome.
Diego, thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you here.
I've never been on the E3 stage before. This is really exciting.
Well, I'll tell you, that makes us two because this is my first E3 too. But I'm very excited to have you here, especially because you are one of the most influential women in an industry that is predominantly male, from players to developers to heads of publishers. So I really was looking forward to this conversation and ask you, what are some of the biggest challenges you see for female players and also for those that are trying to build their careers in tech?
It's a great question. It's an important question. And I really like that you're asking it from both angles. So when it comes to competitive gaming, women still find themselves at a huge disadvantage. And it has absolutely nothing to do with skill. It's because they can't focus 100% on the game. Instead, they need to spend energy dealing with all the harassment they face. And having experienced it firsthand myself, it can be daunting and it takes away from the focus of the actual competition. And how is that fair?
No, it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
It isn't. And it's something we spend a lot of time discussing on Valorant and at Riot. And you know, it's not a terribly easy problem to solve, but the problems we're solving are rarely easy. What I will say is that we're absolutely committed to creating an inclusive environment for competition and creating safe opportunities for women to compete without fear of identity or gender-based harassment. So that's the gaming aspect.
That's so interesting and so real. So let me ask you then, when we talk about careers, what's the situation there?
Okay, so when it comes to careers in gaming, there's definitely work to be done there as well. I was fortunate enough to have a really impactful mentor early on. I had just started a job at a temp company, and while I played games, I had no idea what a career in gaming could even look like. And then at this gaming company, one of the women I was working with told me she thought I had what it took to become a game producer. I had no idea what a game producer was, but I went with it, and now 20 plus years later, here I am. And as you mentioned, there are not enough women in the industry, so it means a lot that she brought me with her. I try to pay that forward to all the women who are coming up after me, but we need more.
Wow, I tell you, your story is so inspiring, and it's the first time that I actually hear you saying it like that. So thank you, and it just reinforces how important mentorship is. So a little bit of a follow-up to the previous question, but how can both then technology and commitments to allyship play a role in the changes that we still need to see in the industry?
So I'll tell you, one of the most exciting parts of being a developer is that I get to be part of creating the future of Valorant. My team and I spend all of our time dreaming and exploring ways to make the player experience even better. And then we get to go and actually build it. It's a really interesting mix of creativity and engineering. All of the technology you've mentioned on stage today is impacting how we work and what we're able to create. So please keep those advancements coming. When it comes to specific changes that need to be made to protect women in competitive gaming, we absolutely need to keep investing and prioritizing innovations that help fight against harassment. And honestly, the gaming community needs to take a more active role in the community that it's creating. If game developers can be allies, and I truly believe we can and should, then so can your teammates in game. And again, we just need more women throughout the whole gaming ecosystem. We need an industry-wide commitment around diversity and inclusion, and we're finally starting to see that.
I like the way you said, and I couldn't agree more. We need more women, we need more diversity in the industry, and that's why today, we're taking it to the next level. Today, we are announcing an expansion of our commitment to the Valorant Game Changers Initiative. We are launching together today a new training program dedicated to mentoring up-and-coming female esports casters. The program that is launching very soon this fall will team up them with professionals in the field to provide them with practical tools and knowledge to help advance their careers. It's pretty cool, huh?
Okay, so this is amazing. Game Changers is all about providing experience and exposure to women in gaming. We want to inspire the next generation of not only players, but any women who want to build careers in any aspect of the gaming industry. So this program fits so perfectly with our mission. It'll provide a pipeline of female talent that is so sorely lacking. I am so glad that Verizon is not only acknowledging the issue, but taking actions to push for change.
Well, I love what you say, but the reality is that no one can make real change alone. So we are equally thankful for your support and for Riot's support as well. Fantastic job.
Thank you. And
So Anna, thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for the great conversation.
thank you so much for having me, Diego, and honestly, thank you so much for caring about it as much as I do.
It's great to have you. Thank you.
Thanks.
So now I have a final big announcement, and I want to ask Nikki to help me with it. So come on out, Nikki.
Yes, Diego, this is big, and I am so proud to help announce it. You know, Verizon is deeply committed to building a more inclusive and diverse tech sector. Our work in this space has been going on for decades and frankly speaks for itself.
We are so proud of the work we've done, but we also know that more action needs to be taken to address the lack of female representation in gaming and more broadly in STEM. So today, Verizon is making a new $1 million commitment to increase female representation in gaming and STEM. For this, we are creating the Verizon Game Forward Scholarship. The scholarship is an expansion of the Future Fund, our initiative to support emerging female talent across entertainment and technology.
That's right. And you know, this fall, Verizon will partner with 5 historically black colleges and universities to provide scholarships to 5 female students at each school who are active gamers and also pursuing degrees in fields that are tied to gaming development, such as computer science, graphic design, software engineering. And those 5 schools are Dillard, Delaware State, Morgan State, Texas Southern University, and Howard. We'll build tech centers on each of these campuses that will be open to the entire student body. And we'll also provide the scholarship recipients with access to the Verizon 5G Gaming Center for training, as well as mentorship.
And I tell you, here's the best part. We are guaranteeing the students internship opportunities at Verizon and with our gaming industry partners. It is these kinds of deep commitments that will help build the diverse talent pipeline the tech industry needs. We are really so proud of this and for the opportunities it will give these women.
Absolutely. And you know, I just cannot wait to see what these students do.
Nikki, thank you.
Thank you.
So I hope the last 30 minutes have clarified why Verizon is here for 2 big reasons. Number 1, technology. Verizon has a vision for how 5G and related technologies will bring an entirely new level of creation and experience of gaming for the developers, for esports teams, and for the fans. And secondly, we see this next gaming generation wanting and needing inclusivity, an industry that is more diverse and more welcoming of new faces, new voices, and new perspectives. We are here to help make astonishing things happen in gaming and esports. But we're also here to listen and to learn. Gaming is a sector of bold thinkers, free spirits, and wide open creativity. Verizon wants to support that and empower it even further. So we look forward to working with you and playing with you for a long time to come. Thank you.
Welcome back to the E3 2021 caster desk. It's me, it's Jackie, and Jackie, two very interesting announcements there at the end for Verizon, right? Number one, Verizon and Riot teaming up for the Game Changers Mentorship Program. Huge. And then, of course, this Verizon Game Forward Scholarship. 5 historically black colleges, 5 gamers at each one getting not only a scholarship for school, getting guaranteed internships at Verizon or game partners. It's a $1 million program. It's about building the tech sector and obviously getting women and minorities involved in this. How important is this, Jackie?
Honestly, they kept on echoing that we need action.
Yeah.
To create change, like we need to start doing things like this. And you think that we've made so much progress, but I can't even tell you how many times people come up to me and they're like, "You play video games?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't think that you would be into that." And I'm just like, man, it's crazy. Gamers come from all walks of life, and you know, we heard Anna Donlin talking about this a little bit, but sometimes when you're a woman, it can be very discouraging. Twitch chat can be extremely harsh. Social media, like it can be extremely painful. But seeing something like this that is uplifting and encouraging, I'm so excited for it. And you know, they kept on talking about the next generation. So many young women out there are watching this, and I'm sure that they're like, wow, like there's scholarship money out there for this. Someone's like, you can do this, and it really warmed my heart. So
100%.
happy to see it. Really happy to see it.
And yeah, one of the things in there before I toss for you, of course, is that Anna was talking in the Riot segment, right? That the gaming community needs to be better about building the community it's in.
Yes.
And I can't agree with that enough. If you know anything about Greg Miller and Kinda Funny, being better is a big part of what we always talk about. It's be better to each other and don't be a jerk. And I know right now, on our very own Twitch page right here, a bunch of people are being jerks. And everybody who's a good person, which is the majority of gamers, need to step up, ladies and gentlemen, and of course show that the positive outshines the negative. That's my rant. Goodbye on that one.
Thank you so much for that.
Verizon and Riot, what a team up for the future. Let's talk about esports, though, right? And speaking of esports, I want to hear from more of the voices on the scene about how esports has evolved over the years and where it's headed.
For the longest time, I didn't even tell my friends and classmates in school that I was a professional gamer.
Back when Blockbuster was still open and we had MLG events.
People that organize tournaments, and people used to drive around vans with computers and off their own money just to set up these LANs so people could play, so there could be an experience of, you know, people gaming against each other.
And I would go to my local Blockbuster and compete in getting the high score in different Nintendo games. And I would always win.
I always compare it to like a fight club, you know, underground, like super secret. And over time, you know, it's blown up.
The industry and the people in the industry who were once, you know, made fun of for being nerds and playing video games and, you know, the stereotypical living in their mom's basement, are now the cool kids on the block.
And I think now that we, as people that are involved in gaming and esports, can actually dedicate our time properly to this, that shows me just how far we've come.
Once I started to play competitively for League of Legends and realized there was an opportunity to also bring kind of my heart and my energy for the game and make it lucrative, I had to follow my heart.
I'm just very excited to see more and more people being able to turn their hobby, turn their passion into their jobs and making a living out of it.
And now you can legitimately be a kid and tell your parents, like, hey, I want to be a professional esport player.
Day to day, I wake up every day and I'm just really happy to get to play games for a living.
There's Fortnite players that are 13-year-olds that I know who have the work ethic and drive and put in the time and effort like a job, more so than even my friends who have full-time jobs.
In the beginning, it was like nerds play video games and jocks play sports, but now you have like NBA players and NFL players that are streaming and making videos.
People are now coming out about it, like, come out your gamer closet and stuff. You know, it's not, you're not a geek no more, you're not a dork, and if you are, that's cool now.
When I was a young girl, you know, I was playing 2K a lot, and I never thought I would see myself in the game, and boom, there I am. I'm able to drop 40, 60 with myself and actually look like myself.
It's really started to mesh together, and it's created like my perfect little child. This sports mixed with video games is like pretty much been me my whole life, but now the world can see this.
I think that's what makes esports so compelling, is that there is an opportunity for anybody, no matter where you're from.
Anyone can be a gamer. You know, you're not capped by your physical attributes.
It's pretty easy for people in esports to gravitate towards underdog stories. I think people love those, and there's a reason, because I think many of us in esports have felt like underdogs ourselves.
Growing up in a children's home without a support system, family, financial means, I just never thought that following my dreams was on the table for me. Like, that just did not seem reasonable. Now here I am. I turned my passion into my job. I love my job every single day. I met my husband at a gaming event, and I made lifelong friends. And I found my place, and I found a family along the way, and I couldn't be more grateful.
I can't imagine with how far it's come to see the next couple phases, but I don't think the hype behind it is going to slow down anytime soon.
I mean, I just see it going up. Content creators booming, just becoming so much bigger than before, new games releasing, more esports, more involvement and acceptance. Like, I think it's going great, and I don't think it'll stop growing anytime soon.
IGN Summer of Gaming 2021 is presented by the Amazon original movie, The Tomorrow War, exclusively on Prime Video July 2nd.
Everybody loves watching a speedrun of their favorite game, but what if you got a chance to peek into the mind of the developers behind those games as they watch their hard work get completely destroyed right in front of them?
What is happening right now?
That's exactly what happens on every episode of Devs React to Speedruns. We invite you to ride along with the developers as they watch, react, and enjoy some of the craziest gameplay by the most skilled speedrunners on the planet. Tune in every Saturday for a brand new episode.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're constantly updating our feeds to bring you the latest news, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, memes, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
Hey you, are you looking for a new way to watch your favorite videos and shows from IGN? Well, check out IGN Watch.
Welcome back to IGN.
It's our new app that's all about video, because there really just aren't enough video apps these days.
I get to unbox this PlayStation 5.
Follow subjects you care about, play videos in the background, or send them to your TV via AirPlay or Chromecast.
I gotta get one of those.
Download it today from the App Store or Play Store, or both. We're not your boss. IGN Watch. Check it out.
As the console wars continue to rage and next-gen consoles remain scarce to find, a blast from the past has come along with a new focus to bring gaming to your sofa. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Intellivision.
Hi, I'm Tommy Tellerico, and what an honor it is for Intellivision to be a part of this year's E3. I want to personally thank the ESA for having us be involved. And we have seen some incredible stuff. What a great time to be a gamer. I've been in the video game industry for over 32 years and have been a part of the creative teams that have made some of the greatest video games of all time, including things like Disney's Aladdin, Earthworm Jim, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Metroid Prime, Guitar Hero. I'm even the guy who did the oof sound for Roblox. Ooh. Don't hate me. In fact, I own the Guinness World Record for the person who's worked on the most video games in their lifetime. My mother's very proud. But I'm here today to talk about Intellivision. and our brand new video game console, Amico. Now, Amico is the Italian word for friend, and that's basically what we've designed our entire system and games around. That friendship, that multiplayer, that couch co-op experience. See, when I was growing up, we didn't have the internet to play video games, so if you wanted to play with somebody else, you went over their house or they came over to your house. It was everybody in a room. In fact, I bet if you're a hardcore gamer, you're probably like me, and I bet your fondest memories of playing games were when you were playing with other people in the same room together. That's what we're all about. Now look, I'm going to be honest, for a lot of you out there watching this, I'm not going to impress you with our teraflops and gigawatts and screaming processor and incredible lifelike graphics.